G'day, ZiggyD here, and welcome back for another Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls guide. In this video I want to go over the Marauder's Demon Hunter set, just why it's so damn good, and also I'll give you guys some advice on how to go ahead and build this set for yourselves. So the Marauder's set, like many other set items, set legendaries in Diablo 3, individually the items are not all that powerful. Like, they are basically standard legendaries. You can get more powerful individual items than you can from the actual just wearing the set pieces by themselves. So for example, the Marauder's Visage, the helmet, is easily trumped by something like an Endariel's Visage. So that's just a more powerful item. The gloves, for example, are easily trumped by something like Mage Fist. There's pretty much in all the slots, there is something better that you can wear just from the normal legendaries. But what actually really separates this set out from the other things is the 4 set bonus and the 6 set bonus. Now the 4 set bonus, so if you're wearing 4 items or 3 items in a Ring of Royal Grandeur to reach the 4 set bonus, you get the companion skill calls all companion types to your side. So basically, no matter which companion you equip, whether you equip the Raven or the Wolf, all of them are on the field present at the same time. Now that means you have the Spider, the Boar, and the Wolves all tanking for you, and then the Spider, the Boar, the Wolves, the Ferrets, the Bat, the Raven, everything actually dealing damage to your enemies. Now on top of that, whenever you use the active ability for the companions, so usually you might use your Wolf ability and they'll do a Wolf's Cry that will increase your damage temporarily for a few seconds. And with this 4 set bonus, it actually activates all of the actives at once. So basically what happens is when you press that button, when you press that pet button, you get your Wolf's Cry giving you increased damage. You get the Boar Taunt, which attracts enemies to the boar and protects you. You get the ferrets pick up all golden life globes on the screen pretty much. You get the bat hatred regeneration. You get it all at once. You even get the little raven peck thing that deals some extra damage or whatever. But getting all of these things at once, in addition to having so many pets on the field dealing damage and tanking for you, is a huge boost. It's a huge boost. And you can work this into almost any build. Having all of these pets fits into any Demon Hunter build and is a great addition to any Demon Hunter build. So even the 4 set Marauder's bonus by itself is absolutely fantastic. It's phenomenal. I built my Marauder's 4 set a couple of weeks ago, I think, and just playing on my normal cluster arrow resource recycling build, it was a huge noticeable boost. It felt like getting an extra 20% DPS and toughness, basically. That's what I would equate it to if I had have gotten that much amount of gear upgrades just from those companions there. So very, very potent. And then you get to the 6 set bonus. Now the 6 set bonus is really insane too. Your sentries cast your equipped hatred spenders. So what this means is if you have on your toolbar, like on my character you see in the footage in the background, multi-shot and cluster arrow, your sentries will actually fire multi-shot and cluster arrows all at full damage as well. Okay, so that sounds pretty good, but just how good is this actually? Just how good is this? If you're using the passive that allows you to get an extra sentry out, so you can get 3 total sentries, which is usually what you're using with a 6-piece Marauder set build, you can essentially deal more than 3 times the damage you would be dealing solo. Each one of these sentries deals almost as much damage as you would do, a little bit less, almost as much damage as you would deal using those abilities. And then over the course of a longer battle, say if you're farming in Torment 6, which is the whole idea behind getting an endgame set like this, is to be able to farm the highest difficulty. Each one of these sentries puts out those cluster arrows and there's multi-shots, so really good AoE from the multi-shots with decent damage, and then really insane small AoE and single target damage with the cluster arrows. So you'll see them on my screen critting for 17 to 20 million damage every time they crit, which is about a little bit less than what I would normally do because I've had to switch out the set, lost some of my base DPS in my build. But the fact that I can get 3 sentries out very quickly over the course of a fight with a pack of elites or a large pack of trash mobs means that I get each of the sentries out. They're all firing those at the same time. It doesn't really matter about my resources. I won't run out of resources. Sentries don't have resources. They keep firing those abilities, dealing 3 times the damage you would almost do, or almost, just slightly under. And then on top of that, you can attack yourself. So after you get your 3 sentries out, you can start firing your own cluster arrows and multi-shots. So you end up dealing over 3 times the damage, or maybe even close to 4 times the damage you would be dealing with a normal setup. So, just to put this in perspective for you guys, how much of a boost is this actually? Like, that sounds good, 3 times the damage? Wow, that sounds incredible. But how much, is it actually practical? Does this actually work in the game? Just from farming yesterday on a very decently geared resource cycling build. I was using multi-shot cluster arrow, the very traditional Demon Hunter build, with very good gear for that sort of build, and I was farming Torment 3 very efficiently. Now, I put on the Marauders set, and my current Marauders set build, because I'm using all 6 pieces, I don't have the Ring of Royal Grandeur, and I don't even have things like Bombardier's Rucksack and other items that go well with this build. And even then, my Marauders set isn't perfectly rolled for this. I went straight to Torment 6, farming Torment 6 reasonably efficiently. So I jumped up from Torment 3 to Torment 6 literally by getting my Marauder's helmet today. So completing that 6 set, going from 5 set on the Marauders to 6 set, jumped me 3 Torments. Insane. It's absolutely insane. It's fantastic. And really, Marauders set builds, like these pet sentry builds for Demon Hunters, are the main build that is best for farming endgame. They are the most efficient. There are some other cool builds going on the PTR at the moment that you might be able to play around with, but this is going to be very strong, both now and moving forwards into the future patches, and really fantastic in Greater Rifts. All of the people topping Greater Rifts within the first few days were pet sentry Demon Hunters using the Marauder 6 set. And with good reason. They're just very defensive, like the fact that you can sit behind your sentries and they do all the damage and your pets tank for you, and the fact that you're able to get 3 to 4 times more damage than what you'd normally be doing by yourself is just fantastic for Greater Rifts. And it doesn't look like they're changing anytime soon. In fact, you're just getting more options for how you can actually gear your Marauders set. So, now that I've talked about, I've exposed just how awesome this set is, and I'm sure many of you guys already actually knew this, but maybe you've just found some of the reasoning behind it interesting. How do you actually go ahead and build your Marauders set, your end game set? It's actually pretty easy to do now. People are building these Marauders sets, like full sets on Marauder on new Demon Hunters, in a day, using things like Rifted Forwards. Rifted Forwards is a community where you're able to jump in, basically pay for a boss kill within a rift, so getting your blood shards from the rift, and basically pay for that by opening the next rift for the people. So you farm some bounties, and then you open rifts for people, and you get your blood shards. That's a very efficient and fast way of doing it, and that's one way I suggest doing before the new patch. But in general, the whole idea for getting this is that you're going to be farming rifts on the highest difficulty you can efficiently farm to get those extra legendary drops, and legendary drop rate has been buffed exponentially in both rifts, and in general, these set items dropped actually pretty commonly now. I found 3 today. I found 2 Marauders helmets and a pair of Marauders boots. I found one in this random... I did one rift run to record a video for this video just here, to record footage for it, and I got the Marauders boots. So they drop reasonably often. But then what really allows you to make sure you can actually build this set, because it's no good just getting the boots 5 times in a row. You need to actually build the full set, or at least 5 out of 6 of the set. The way you're going to be doing that is gambling for the different sockets. Basically, when you complete that rift, you're getting, if you're doing something like Torment 3 rifts, which is something you can do pretty easily with a resource cycling build, or even a Entangling Shot Cull the Weak cluster arrow build, which I'll link these builds down in the description below for you guys. If you're trying to gear yourself up into Marauders, I suggest using those to farm with, and you will be able to get those blood shards and gamble on the slots you need. Now, here's the real key, though, is deciding and planning which slots you actually need. Now, on this character right here at the moment, I'm using the full 6 set Marauder. This is bad. This is not the best way to do this. You really want to go for a 5 set and then use Ring of Royal Grandeur. So hopefully you guys already have a Ring of Royal Grandeur from farming those Act 1 bounties. Otherwise, that's something you're going to want to consider doing as well. And you could, for example, farm Act 1 rifts, Act 1 bounties over and over again, try and farm for your Ring of Royal Grandeur, and at the same time do Rifted Forwards to start farming for your Marauders. You can actually farm for both of these things very efficiently at the same time using Rifted Forwards. Simply join the Rifted Forward communities and read the description on how you actually get involved in that. And that's a very efficient way of doing that. Now, here's the last really important point. When I said build a 5 set instead of building a full 6 set, what item do you not go for? Because it's a good idea to plan for the one you don't want to get, so that you don't waste any blood shards gambling on that item. Currently, the chest. If you're playing a normal fire setup, which is what I'm running here, where you're using cluster arrow loaded for bear and the fire multi-shot rune and the fire, a sentry turret rune, then these are all fire damage skills. So getting Cindercoat and wearing the Cindercoat as your chest armor is going to be very important. And if you're wearing the Marauder's Carapace, the Marauder's chest piece, you can't wear your Cindercoat, you lose your resource cost efficiency, and you lose the extra 20% fire damage from the Cindercoat. So the best thing is going to be to do is to wear the 5-piece set with the Ring of Royal Grandeur and skip the chest armor from the Marauder's set, which means don't gamble on that Marauder's Carapace. However, in the next patch, there is going to be an additional option. Physical and cold Marauder's setups are looking to be pretty good. Now, this is obviously unconfirmed, being on the PTR currently, but it looks like there's going to be some good setups using cold with Crider Shot, and then using physical setups with the Tasker and Theo gloves. Now, if you use cold, that means you can use Frostburns for extra cold damage, and if you're using a physical setup, you can use Tasker and Theo. And in fact, I think a lot of different setups, regardless of element, might end up using Tasker and Theo in the next patch, those gloves. So that means the alternative, instead of, if you don't care about going fire, then you can skip the chest piece and keep the Marauder's Carapace, so you can get your Marauder's Carapace, and then simply drop the Marauder's gloves, so don't gamble for those gloves. So the choices are, just to cover it again, is to go for the 5 set with missing the chest, or go for the 5 set missing the gloves. Currently, the best thing to do is to go for missing the chest. Cindercoat is fantastic, and using those is not going to be a wrong choice. So if you're not sure which setup you want to go for, I suggest going for that. And then just to cover it again, probably the fastest way to do it is going to be take advantage of Rifted Forwards before it's nerfed in the next patch. Rift it forwards as hard as you can, farming those Ring of Royal Grandeurs from Act 1 at the same time, paying your way through those rifts and getting a lot of blood shards. Otherwise, just farming rifts on the highest difficulty you can and gambling for each of those sets, and you'll get it in no time at all. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I'll probably put together a build video soon for an actual Marauder 6 setup, how you go ahead and build your character for this, since I'm learning this currently and it's been a lot of fun. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.